Hey everyone, it's Eric and I'm here with your new moon reading, and I'll be using my self-published deck Shadowlight Tarot. So I want to dive into this to see whatever messages come up for each of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now we're going to take a look into the generalization of things, so depending on whether you have it as your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, Venus, or however you'd like to interpret it, depending on how astrologically inclined you may be, it is there to present the message. So for those who are generally looking for a reading, you may look for your sun sign to interpret what you're going through, what you're feeling. And then you can take that even further by watching your moon sign, in which case you'll have an understanding of yourself internally and what you're processing in terms of an emotional level. When you look at it for your rising example, that is pretty much how the world's coming through you or how others perceive you. Think of it, it's the cone in which you yourself, your light of your being of the sun, is expressed through. Now you can take this even further if you're interested in seeing a relationship aspect. Venus is usually associated with how we connect with others. That would be a good example to see what is going on in your relationship sector. But take it as you please, as each of the signs are only able to provide so much. So if you can take that and then compare it to see what you're going through, it may provide some insight for you on your journey. So take this for what it is. I'm here doing my thing, and I thank you for your appreciation, for your time to actually check this out. So let's begin with these readings. Now we're going to lead into Cancerian. So being a Cancer moon, I can't help but actually understand that this reading is going to be a little too personal for myself, but isn't that what a Cancer moon is supposed to be? So let's understand, what is the message being brought to the Cancerian energies for sun, moon, rising, and any other signs that are relevant to the individual who are meant to hear this message. Your card up is illusions. So there's a lot of things right now. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of things, and that actually is proceeding with what I was just finishing off with Gemini, is that there's choices to be made. You can't just sit there and just be taking a sip of each of the illusions that are in place, because they might just be a fantasy of what ifs. But at the same time too, you can't have it all. If you were to give yourself a position to wear yourself down and try to, you're not going to really get everything. So you got to understand what is that's important to you. Your light. You got to shine your light out into the world. Right now there's a big message going on with Cancerians to really step out there and to understand that they have to be there, they have to shine, they have to move forward in a way that's important, that's going to provide themselves a sense to really get them where they want to go. They see this like a fire underneath their bum, ready to be like, yeah, let's do this. So that kind of energy is really here, that light of who you are, that fire, it just doesn't turn off, it just shines. So it's important for us to shine, and we're getting there one day at a time. It's steady. There's a lot of forces at play, and we're going to make our way through it. If it's not for the sake of understanding that this is just a gentle journey, but this journey in itself is going to provide us the experience needed so that when we are there present where we need to be, we've gained not only the skill set, the understanding, but the ability to actually truly embrace and shine ourselves in the best of our light. So this is going to give us our domain, our security, an ultimate kingdom in which we are building for ourselves. We're able to hone into that and provide a sense of security that is created through the inner self, through the idea of what we want to become our tribe, become our home. That is very important. And when you're looking at the sense of the seed, this new beginning, this idea that when we are finishing off this idea of a kingdom, what do you do thereafter? You continue to birth a new seed into reality. So as we got these two cards that are next to each other, we have the King of Pentacles leading right into the Ace of Pentacles. Because you're able to be the King of Pentacles, this new kingdom that you're creating in the being is able to be accomplished. It's able to have the right foundations to actually manifest and exist. You want a good seedling, but at the same time too, you want a good farmer to take care of that seedling. So as you're getting through this full moon, we got the wheel. Things are turning. As you're reaching this full moon, things aren't going to probably be where they are when you started. And that's okay, because when we are dealing with the wheel, we got to understand that not everything stays the same. Change is inevitable, and we're understanding that change is ultimately what brings us through growth. And growth is important for each and every one of us experiencing this soulful journey that we're kind of experiencing. However you want to take a philosophical or spiritual look on that matter. So this wheel's turning, and this full moon is saying that this cycle has reached its point where it's ready to be in a way where we're starting with these new words, these new ways of understanding that these intentions that we set out, these concepts and ideas, that they're going to be the start of what we're supposed to set out there. Because we want them to soar, we want them to actually reach, we want this communication to be a communication. We don't want to be an echo chamber. So it's important that you have to do work on a full scale manner. You are the magician. You are able to create whatever it is that you want in this world. So do it in your power to be what you want to be, to create what you want to create. And if you haven't done it yet, take some steps to do that. Every little day is a little bit going to get you there. Even those days where you're just reflecting on where it is you want to go, at least by the end of the day, sometimes you're a little more clear to take that action. All is in its right place. But now's the time to shine, because we got justice coming in. Things are coming to balance. Things are coming to be fair. If something's been out of whack, it's going back. It's being seen for what it is, so that things can be brought back to balance. And balance is important. If it's not for the turning point to take us out to where we're no longer supposed to go through, this is the turning point to take us to where we're supposed to balance and recollect ourselves. In which case, we're understanding that there's things that are leaving in our lives, and that we're not able to truly understand that we still have plenty to appreciate. But just because it's leaving doesn't mean it's something that is going to take us too far away. Because when we're able to move forward, there's hardships, and it might not be easy, but that emotional challenge is going to bring us the strength through the very action of going through it to rebuild ourselves back up even stronger than we were before. And this is going to provide us a better understanding of who we are and what we want. Because this completion here, there's not much that can be done. You can't fit any more swords into something that is already dead, done, and gone with. It's no meaning to do so other than to get that self-satisfaction out of there. So you got to be able to be okay when to know to walk away. And when you're in your message, you're in your truth, you're able to take that. Like a butterfly here, you're able to transform and be in your new light. That concept is not only something that's all over the place, but I'm seeing it in a lot of individuals' experiences. So to finish that off, we have the essence that understanding the self is key. And we're heading to something new, so this is going to take you to where you got to go. The thing that you can take away from this is that you got to go. And you got to take a chance, and you got to take a risk regardless of what forces are trying to say otherwise. Because sometimes you know in yourself what's true. Sometimes you know in yourself that it ain't going to be easy knowing that truth. And sometimes it ain't going to be easy doing it. But it's going to take us to where we need to go. So it might not be an easy month, but it's going to take you where you need to be, which I think is so far going to be the overarching idea of what's happening right now. It's where we need to be. So next up, we're going into Leo. Leo.